Hello everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I just realised while I was putting my face on that all of you ladies and gentlemen are probably the luckiest people in the world, because I'm probably the only feng shui master that's actually doing a live seminar. Okay? Because everybody else has either had to put them off or they've done them online. So we have to really thank how lucky we are, even though you're all wearing masks. And I'm lucky enough not to have to wear one because I'm teaching and I'm on a stage. So kudos for me. But thank you so much for your understanding and the fact that so many of you, I contacted you and you all probably got back to me about the time that you could attend and that you could still attend. So I really do appreciate that. It's been a very stressful week trying to figure out how I would actually make this happen for you all, because obviously my option is to do it live and you get so much more from it. So thank you so much all for being here, and thank you all so much for attending me. Now there may be some new people in the audience. Who's new here that has never heard me talk before? Oh, well, feng shui wise anyway. Fantastic. So thank you so much for being brave and coming to listen to me entertain you under such harsh conditions. And thank you everybody else for following me. So many of you have actually followed me for years. Some of you have followed me for 10 years, and some of you have actually been around for like 15 or 16 years. So thank you so much for that. I so appreciate it. And hopefully over that time I have actually helped you make a difference in your life, which is what I find feng shui truly does. If you actually listen, it actually gives you the knowledge to empower you to make a difference in your life and to actually be aware of what is coming forward and what is actually about. So thank you so much. And also a big thank you before I start to Rosie and Janine for stepping up and handing out the books for me. They're always there and they're always so supportive. You'll notice Rosie's here every year for me, and I so appreciate that. And we're really lucky today because we have Max doing the video. So you will actually, even though you have come live, I will send you a link to the video so you can watch me again and again and again if you really want to. Right? I understand you won't be able to ask obviously as many questions today. It may be difficult for me to hear some of your questions, but I am still happy to answer them. But please excuse me if I can't hear you properly through your mask. Hopefully everything goes smoothly though. Now you will notice this year that your chart is actually hand typed, and I haven't handwritten the aspects in for you this year, mainly because over the years so many people complain about my writing and you feel that you can't understand what I've actually written. So, and also teaching as I've taught over time, I've also realised that when you write it down, it actually, you absorb it so much better yourself if you actually write it down. So I thought, well, we'd do it different this year. So I especially typed out all the charts. I thought I was so organised this year. This year, 2 weeks ago, I thought, wow, I've got the seminar in the bag. Like, I'm really organised. I'm 2 weeks ahead. Couldn't believe myself. I was congratulating myself to my children. Should have known better. And then all of a sudden in the last week we've been thrown into complete turmoil. So that's the way it goes. So we just have to roll with it, of course. So don't worry about your chart yet, because we will actually be doing flying stars first. Okay? So everybody's set and ready to go? Right. Thank you. So first things first, I'd just like you all to indulge me. I understand not everybody is into politics and everybody has a totally different view. So I apologise now if I'm going to offend anybody, but I'm actually quite excited about the next step and adventure that is happening within my life, which is standing as a health candidate for the Health Australia Party. Okay, so if you're not interested in politics, just zone out for a moment. and just indulge me why I share my adventure and journey and why I've actually made this choice and decision. No, I'm not going to do a tap dance. I just thought this might be easier for you. I did think of breaking into song and dance, but I kind of thought it's not really appropriate since I'd be the only person doing it. So why the Health Australia Party? As most of you that know me know, for years now, my position and stand has always been about educating and empowering, and also helping small business and helping individuals in any way that I can. So the journey started obviously with feng shui, and over the years I've joked about the only way I can make a true difference with feng shui is if I can get the building correct in the first place. So often when we're feng shuiing somebody's home, I'm coming in and I'm kind of band-aiding it, if that makes sense, because the home's actually already built. Obviously, I believe every house picks a person, so you're in a home for a reason because it's going to bring about your destiny. But I also believe if we could improve the quality of building and we could improve the quality of our land and environment, you would all actually stand a much better chance, and there would be, in fact, less to remedy feng shui-wise within your home. So I have actually joked and spoken to quite a few clients over the years, over the last couple of years with updates, that the only way I could truly make a difference was either have a lot of money or get into politics. So it was a little bit of a joke because I thought, well, if I could get into politics, or even if I could get to some of the developers and builders, I might be able to make a difference. Right from the design point of view of the way that we were building estates and the way that we're building homes. And if we can do that better, sustainably wise, economically wise and position wise, everybody actually has a much better chance of having better health and better wealth and relationship luck. So it kind of started out as a joke, but as we know, we're extremely powerful in our manifestation powers of what we actually put out there, what we think and what we say. My other passion has been small business and helping the alternative and natural healers at Perth. So years ago, many of you may remember that I had Vivacious Living Centre, and back then, when you came to listen to me talk, there was probably only 20 of you in the room. I started off and like, wow, it was really exciting to do a seminar and have 20 people turn up for me. So I did that at Vivacious Living, and while I had Vivacious Living, I found that so many of my practitioners and seminar participants were small business owners, and they were wanting to grow, but they didn't quite know how to grow. So a lot of us go into business because we're passionate about what we have to share information-wise and the skills and the modalities that we have. But we don't necessarily know how to market ourselves or how to actually get to the public with how great we are. So while I had Vivacious Living, I started running small psychic fairs and I ran network groups. Once I sold Vivacious Living, I then went on and I launched the Perth Festival of Healing, which I've run, I think I'm about up to the 6th festival at this point over the last couple of years. And once again, with progression, that's actually grown as well. We had 2,000 people turn up at the festival in September, which was just amazing. The next festival is actually the 6th of March, so if anybody wants to come, it's free to the public, and I'm still taking stand-holders' positions. So by doing this, I've always been very passionate about helping the small, and the Festival of Healing is very community-based. So back in November, I was approached by a friend of mine who is a colleague and has spoken for me many times at different events, and he rang me up and he said, "Hey Shell, I need to catch up, we need to have coffee." And I noticed that he had just become a candidate for the Health Australia Party. So I actually resisted for a week or two because I was like, oh, coffee, really? You're just going to want me to campaign for you? I'm really not a number 2 type of girl. Finally, I conceded, and he came around and he had a coffee, and he's telling me all about the Health Australia Party, and I said, wow, that's fantastic, that's just so great. I'm so proud of you for making a stand and to standing up in community and for what you what your values are, and how exciting for you, congratulations. And I was just waiting for the punchline. And then he turned around and I said, but you know, I really don't have a lot of time to really be of assistance. And he said, no, I don't want you to assist me. I want you to stand beside me. Like, I want to nominate you. I want you to be a candidate as well. And at first I thought, oh my God, that's the ego. Like, I felt very, straight away I went to ego and thought, oh, that's very exciting. That's really, really nice that he actually thinks that I'm capable and that I would be an equal and able to do that. And I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure. And I said, okay, let me read the policies and nominate me. I'll go through the process. We'll see how we go. Straight away I went out of ego and realised that this was actually going to be a lot of work. An awful lot of work, and I'm likely to offend a lot of people in the process. But I wanted to make sure that I was actually in line with all the policies that this party had and what they stood for. So I quickly printed out the policies, handed a copy to my 3 children in bed this particular night after I put my nomination through, and said, right kids, I need you to read all these policies and I need you to tell me if that's me. Like, you guys know me better than anybody else. Am I in line with the policies of this party? Are these my values? Because if anyone's going to pull me up on values, it will be my children for sure. So my children read the policies and they came back and they said, yeah, Mum, that's all stuff that you're actually doing. They're all goals that you're doing. So I went through the process, and which was really quite exciting. It was quite an adventure. And I realised that I was given a really unique opportunity. And even though I may offend people and it will be a lot of work, because really, unless you become a paid politician, it's all community work. It's all your own time. And I thought, but it's actually a really exciting adventure. And what if I could actually make a change? What if I could make a change? And they told me I could write my own policies, which meant I could add policies to what I was campaigning for. And that gives me the opportunity to write a policy on planning, on better infrastructure and better building, which means what I manifested, I'm able to make a difference for. And my other item that I've always kind of joked and said is if I won lotto, I'd set up like a women's refuge, because I know from a woman's point of view, I can't speak from a man's point of view, sorry guys, I'm not a man. I only know what women tend to go through. Going through divorce myself, bringing up children myself, and dealing with so many clients that are caught in relationships or abusive relationships or financial marriages where they actually just can't leave and they've got nowhere to go, has made me very strong and very aware of the need in society for better women's support, right from youths and right from young women. So I thought, well, this actually gives me the opportunity to make a difference. So it will be a journey, of course, for the next 5 years. It would be fantastic if you could all vote for me. I totally understand if you can't. You may not all be in my area, and you may not all be in agreement with the values or the goals of the party, and I totally respect that. After all, you have indulged me now for probably 10 minutes. Why I entertained you with the journey of why I'm standing for the Health Australia Party. So thank you very much, everybody.